All right, everybody, we're here. It's time to have an important conversation about making money on the portals. You see, many people have been resisting change versus embracing change. I've been noticing a lot of conversations on social media about this very important topic about disruption, about people being knocked out of the business. In fact, back in 2019, I had a talk just like this about getting set up for success in 2 years out, right? So we talked about ways of putting your profile together, signing up for all of these items. So let's get right into the talk about how we actually got to where we're at today working with the portals. So as we go into the timeline, let's start here, the timeline. In 1993, and this is very important to know, guys, it's really my conversation today is actually to really just inform, to make you aware of all the things that are going on in the market. From 1993, real estate listings became available to the public through online MLSs for the first time. For the first time back in 1993. In 1999, internet lead generation developed for the real estate industry. Already, 1999, internet lead generation. In 2000, the IDX feeds were implemented into real estate websites. In 2007, boom, the housing bubble burst and resulting in a financial crisis. 2009, the usage of mobile apps became popular in real estate for both agents and consumers. You know, and I remember 2009 really, really well because, you know, the market was really slowing down, but innovation was happening. Seems like we're at the crossroads right now. In 2013, Zillow acquires StreetEasy. I know a lot of people remember that in New York, giving them for $50 million, giving them a further reach in the New York City market. And in 2014, the introduction to iBuyers, letting homeowners sell their property, but at a discounted price. As we move along, in 2015, Zillow acquires Trulia for $2.5 billion. Extending their market reach and advertising, lead generation, and software. Also, News Corp acquires Move Inc. This is one that goes, this is the quiet one over here. News Corp acquiring Move Inc., also known as Realtor.com, for $950 million as an investment into online and mobile real estate. In 2018, News Corp also acquired OpCity for $210 million, expanding their lead generation capabilities. Now, I know before we finish up the timeline over here, I know what you may be thinking. Why is he sharing all this? Why are we going back to a timeline? Isn't he sharing secrets to how to make money? Why would we go back to timeline? Again, because how did we get here? How did we get here? And what are we going to do? In 2020, COVID-19, the pandemic caused a surge in making the real estate experience as virtual as possible. And in 2021, Zillow acquires ShowingTime, the industry's leading showing platform, for $500 million. Lots and lots of money moving around in the pool of real estate and prop tech. So how did we get here? What's going on right now? What's going on right now? The CX revolution, the customer experience revolution. The CX revolution is centered around the fact that just having a good idea, a product, service, is no longer good enough in any industry. The truly exceptional companies of our society are all ones that place the customer experience before all else. So the CX revolution is based on these experienced companies and their people change lives, transform industries, and cause competitors to scramble to come up with mostly inadequate imitations. As technology changes, my friends, society changes along with it, meaning that companies need to find new ways to be valuable to their customers. Companies are being judged on this new paradigm, which encompasses every point of interaction that a customer has with them. Turning the lights on. One of my favorite quotes from Rich Barton at Zillow. Putting the customer experience first is how Zillow disrupted the industry and continues to Okay, Rich Barton and Zillow turned the lights on in real estate, giving people access to information that was previously gatekept by realtors. Barton also believed the power to the people philosophy, that power and freedom are directly influenced by information. Shouldn't it? We should have power to see what goes on during the transaction. There's transparency. This is what we've known to expect today. Technology would be the revolutionary catalyst for this. So this is what drove Zillow's mobile app capabilities to empower home buyers with information on listings in real time. Power to the people. I have it right in my hands. I want the information now. Rich also said, wouldn't transparency make all things work a little bit better? For people who are used to being in the dark, turning on the lights can be eye-opening and empowering. Transparency is like turning on the lights and can spark a revolution. Let's talk about our on-demand society. We live, my friends, in an on-demand society, right? We are streaming live on Facebook right now, okay, wherever you're at. You're in your car, you're on the way to go get your cup of coffee. You expect it, you want it now, you want it how you want it. We live in an on-demand society, one that expects immediate satisfaction no matter what the source. The most successful, well-known brands and businesses are ones that offer this immediate gratification to the consumer. Guys, think Uber, think Amazon, think Airbnb, think Uber Eats. Are these some of the apps that you're familiar with? So let's talk about some on-demand society. Let's give an industry example. Instant Offers by Zillow. Instant Offers is a service that lets sellers use Zillow's database to compare offers from potential buyers, including Zillow itself. What is it solving, guys? It aims to solve the pain points of complexity, time constraints, and uncertainty of the traditional selling experience. So Instant Offers was created because the expectation of what the customer experience should be changed. They want to press a button. Hold on a second. I want to stay right here for a second. They want to press a button and have magic happen. As a consumer, my friends, we all are consumers. We all are consuming, okay? We want to press a button. I want to make magic happen. We want to press a button. We want the groceries to show up at the door. We want to press a button. We want our favorite show to show up, okay? We want to press a button and the shoes will show up at the door, okay? We want to press a button and have magic happen. So why, my friends? Think about this. Think about what I'm saying here. Why is it that the real estate industry continues to resist? But at RE/MAX Edge, we will not resist. We will embrace and push forward. Because why? The consumer, we must follow the consumer, the customer. They want to press a button. They want magic to happen. They want to press a button. They want to get into the property. Want to press a button. They want more information about a property. Is this all making sense? Let's continue. So first, what I'd like to do is also, before we move forward, I want to bring on one of our top agents who worked with leads, Polly Katarivas, and she started on a team. In fact, now today she's number 5 at RE/MAX Edge in 2020, and they were also a Platinum Club at RE/MAX as well. And what she has accomplished, her and her partner in the industry, is they've taken a lot of leads and they've converted. So we're gonna pull them right up on the screen. Hi, Polly, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Polly?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, we're gonna bring her back in just a few moments. Guys, just move forward. Why is this important? Press button, make magic happen. Why is this important? Continue. Because it is businesses of experience that become leading brands, my friends. What experiences are you providing the customer? Think about it. What experience are you providing the customer today? How could you go above and beyond? than what you did before. See, the focus is no longer on shareholders. These big companies, they're not focusing on shareholders anymore. It's the impact of that business that makes on people, whether it be the consumer, the employees, or society itself. The experience, my friends, we are in a revolution. The powerful convergence of marketing and technology in today's marketplace means brands are no longer built through advertising, but through experiences. So why do real estate agents not feel the need to innovate when every other industry is? For individuals, businesses, and our society? And please don't take it the wrong way. I've been in the business for 20 years and we're still running a beautiful company, right? Number one, in fact. But here's the thing that we think about constantly at RE/MAX Edge. This is not about RE/MAX Edge, but it's something that we're thinking about in our leadership team. Okay, our agents are thinking about how can we embrace change? How do we move forward? The standards for being business of experience are already in place. In fact, it's enforced in every common method of measuring customer satisfaction. So what I want you to think about is how other companies are measuring customer satisfaction and what's coming to our industry. So think CSAT, think NPS, and think CES. Open your eyes and see what's going around in other industries. So let's talk about CSAT. This is something that, it's interesting, Zillow Group has been working on for several years. So CSAT is a customer satisfaction score at which customer rates their satisfaction for services rendered. NPS, another big common measurement when it comes to customer satisfaction. This is also called the Net Promoter Score. This measures the long-term happiness and loyalty of customers. Then we've got the CES. That's the customer effort score. This measures how much effort a customer put into their interaction with the business. At its core, the way to win across every measure is to obsess over the customer's needs and act accordingly, to be a business of experience. How are you showing up, my friends? So let me go back to our 1.0 highlights. This is what you came for, to compare and contrast what we did before. So for the 2019 event on leveraging Zillow and the portals with little to no money, even if you don't plan on paying for the extra services, sign up for all the portals. This is what I said. Sign up for all the portals. Leverage what they offer for free. The people in the industry continue to resist. So they started falling behind if they didn't follow this method. Oh, you know what? If I put my name there, those companies are using me. I don't know. And here's what happened, guys. The consumer eyeballs are already going to these portals. So in the 1.0 that some people didn't make, this is why I want to bring people up to speed over here. The 1.0 talked about using all the free tools that they gave you. Because again, from the real estate agent's perspective, the real estate entrepreneur, that's what I'm here to make us aware, my friends. This is not a commercial for the portals. Let me be clear. This is not a commercial for the portals. This is to raise the awareness, because be careful being leveraged or being misinformed by leaders. I've said it. Leaders. Leaders are misinforming their agents because they just don't, again, it's the fear base. Embrace change, embrace change. The portals, let me just explain what a portal is, because some people may not be aware. These are the companies like StreetEasy, Realtor.com, OpCity, Referral Exchange, HomeLight, etc. This can be as simple. So when I talked about this, it's simple as creating an account, filling out your profile, adding your headshot, and completing your contact info. Why? The consumer eyeballs are already there. Why would you not want to show up there? Why would you not want to show up there? So people had said, but Mike, nobody uses or looks at that platform. You don't know that for certain. It's like a TV show, my friends. You don't know what channel the customer is watching. So you need to be on all the channels. A line that I've used consistently is meet them where they're at. Meet them where they're at. So I'll continue a little bit more about the low cost, no cost methods that you should be using still today. Even if you're not investing any money, you should be using these techniques today. First, get reviews. Get reviews. Get validation. Anytime you've had an experience, get reviews in all these platforms. Have them posted across. Have them posted across as many platforms as you can. Fill out your profile in full. This includes your headshot, your biography, and updated contact info. Have your website up and running and connected to an IDX feed. Now, guys, this is something that I've been very bullish on. IDX feeds. In fact, some of the major portals are already taking on the IDX feeds. A major controversy is a portal taking over the IDX feed using their broker's license to take the IDX feed to share the information so consumers could see it. Why not you? Why not you setting your own IDX feed using a CRM? And we'll talk a little bit more about CRM in just a little bit. But here's the advantage. The advantage of using the IDX feed, my friends, the advantage is that you already have the interaction. You already have the interaction with the consumer. You already have the relationship with the consumer. So they don't need to go to another place. They're shopping on your website. Then sending out newsletters periodically to your mailing list. These are low-cost methods. You don't have to invest. That's what I talked about. Now, once you've done that, this is something we also talked about. And 2 years ago, it wasn't as massive as it is today. But let's go back to some of the things I talked about again in the 1.0 version as we talk about a little bit more about putting money into it, putting money behind it. Let's talk about leveraging video. Right, we're on video, we're live, and I'm sure there's a few mistakes here and there, right? I'm sure. But guess what? You're watching the video, aren't you? I've caught your attention, haven't I? What video are you putting out? What video are you putting out? So before you judge, right, some of the mistakes that we might have made today, that's the point. That's what's the beauty of live and not pre-recorded, okay? What mistakes have I made? This is real. This is raw. This is what we're trying to stay ahead of the curve. We're leveraging video right now. So with YouTube clips, clips posted to social media, video embedded into email, you'll raise awareness. And most of these things are still free today. Pay-per-click, starting to get a little more complex, a little more money. Campaigns attached to keywords that consumers could search on Google. Guys, what's interesting about pay-per-click, it's been repackaged today. In fact, some major brands are talking about $1.50 leads. And let me tell you something funny, my friends. Okay, one of the things we'll talk about a little bit later on today is what does it mean to have a $1.50 lead? What does it mean to have a very cheap lead? Well, we need to look at the overall customer acquisition cost in order to see what the real cost of the lead is. So pay-per-click starts out real cheap. It could become real expensive. And I shared that in my 2019 highlights. Okay, direct mail still works today, direct mail. Any item of value that is being sent to a client's home, you can still do direct mail, and then CRM. Boom. If you are not using some type of CRM, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be really, really basic and really, really cheap. Okay, this allows you to nurture your clients better and more efficiently, thereby increasing your ROI. See, a lot of times agents, when working with CRMs, okay, they put the information in there and that's it. It just goes into the black hole. Okay. In fact, but if you don't use a CRM, it just goes nowhere. So people are wondering, well, how do I get more out of my investment when it comes to working with a customer? How do I get more? Well, CRM, it's long-term. Let me tell you a quick story about a customer that we had nurtured for a long time. In fact, we nurtured them so long, probably somewhere close to 5 years. 5 years. Wow, Mike, 5 years you nurtured a customer? Yeah. We'll talk about artificial intelligence and drip campaigns later in the program. 5 years, all I did was set this person up on some alerts to get properties in the local market. And what's interesting, I actually never met the customer. The customer reached out to me 5 years ago, and it just didn't work out. They called on some stuff, and it just didn't connect. In fact, English was not this person's first language. So it just didn't connect 5 years ago, but I kept that person in our CRM. In fact, 4 or 5 years later, the person actually came to my physical office and was asking for me quite a bit. And what the person said was, I'm looking for Mike and I want to sell my condo. So we always ask, okay, well, how did you hear about our organization? How do you hear about Mike? And what's interesting, what the person said, he's always stood in touch with me. And in fact, I did. So when I went back into the CRM, I had stayed in touch with this person for literally once a week for 5 years straight. Can you tell me what the ROI is on that? Because it was just one customer lead coming off of one of these portals that I paid for, and then 5 years later, very low cost method, set them on a drip campaign, and they wind up selling their condo with us. So we're going to talk more in the next slide. Next. How are these methods working today? Next. So let's go to the 2.0. Let's go to the 2.0, the low cost, no cost methods. What you guys came for. You saw the sign that says secrets to making money on the portals, and everyone either got mad, they might be even throwing tomatoes. I can't even see the live stream right now. Throwing tomatoes, they might be angry. Okay, supporting all this stuff, right? I know. This is the conversation that I've heard time and time again. But first today, I'm going to continue talking about how can you make money. Let's talk 2.0. So you should still be doing all the things we just mentioned before, but the goalposts have changed, my friends. The customer experience is at the forefront. It's the key to making money, the customer experience. So how do you make money on Zillow and the listing portals? Through the customer experience. Well, how to win with Zillow. Zoom in on the screen and see this famous graph that actually I introduced back in 2019. And it's interesting, Zillow was already collecting data on the customer experience, and rightfully so, because they wanted to see how the customers experience, what the experience is that the agent was giving. So today, many industry professionals are not aware that on the back end of the dashboard of Zillow, you will find the customer experience report. And this is really exciting, because what this report does, going back to what Rich Barton said earlier, is the turning the lights on. It's weeding out the agents that have now been exposed. Yes, I've said it, and I said it on a live stream, that have been exposed. Weeding out the agents that personally, ready? And here I'm talking to you, consumer, personally, that should not be in the real estate business. They don't take this serious. And we're going to find that out because the consumer, once they interact early on, not after the transaction been closed, they're going to receive surveys. And we're going to have a performance measure. So the purpose of the score is for you to improve the experience you give the customer. Next. The metric that Zillow measures is your CSAT score includes, first, the response time. We talked early in the presentation about press button, make magic happen. And again, very heavy talk right now on Zillow, but think about how does that pertain to, even if you weren't using Zillow, okay, and you're using a website, we use something called Booge and Megaphone, right? So when we get a lead, it comes to the system, somebody press button, they make magic happen, boom. How the response time is really, really important for our industry guys out there. Speed to lead is something that still today is more relevant than ever. The ability to quickly solve concern. Did you answer the question, and did you answer all their questions? Think about that, my friends. Let's talk about Betty Buyer. Betty Buyer is frustrated. She's been on the line, she's emailing, she's calling her friends, she's going to open houses maybe, and now she's been routed to you, the agent, super agent. Okay, the question is, when she gets on the phone with you, number one, did you answer fast? Number two, did you answer all their questions? Did you satisfy the consumer? Okay, connection rate, whether or not you followed up. Appointments, whether or not you're able to set an appointment. And work with rate, my friends, work with rate. Will the client work with you again? Then the overall experience comes, the customer's overall opinion of you. What's the overall opinion? Recognize that all these metrics relate to one another. Without providing the right customer experience in the right amount of time, the customer won't want to work with you again and set an appointment with you. They won't. Realize that the metrics that Zillow is looking for and measuring you by are the same across most other platforms. That is the point. If you're working on any of the platforms, and if you're not, and you're just working on your own lead generation, I think this is a powerful metric that can help you in your business. These companies have invested tons of money in research, even outside of the real estate industry. So why would this not be the benchmark, my friends? That's all I'm asking for, is for you to be open-minded. Why would you not use this as a benchmark? The metrics all point towards whether or not you provided the right customer experience. This is important because soon enough, the only ones who will get lead opportunities from these companies are those that meet the metrics. The same talk ahead in 1.0. So here's some ways to improve your score. Now again, the open-mindedness. If you're not currently working with one of these platforms, because I know I mentioned a couple today, why couldn't you use it with the experience you provide your customer? If you're a team leader, why could you not R&D? Rip off and duplicate, right? You've heard that before, R&D. Take it and use it as a benchmark to help you with your business. So here we are. How am I treating the customer? When's the last time you had that talk with yourself? How am I treating the customer? Am I addressing all their concerns? So if a customer called you, right, and you just are pounding them with, give me your pre-approval. Have you started off by saying, how am I treating the customer? Am I addressing all their concerns, or am I pounding so I can get information that I need? No. Customer experience. What are you doing to provide that customer experience? Am I asking the right questions? Remember, my friends, although the industry continues to talk about, do you have a pre-approval? And I know sellers demand, hey, Mike, does this person have a pre-approval? But here's the challenge. The customer, the buyer customer who's reaching out, they don't necessarily know any better, right? They're just curious. They might have not ever seen any property before. They pressed a button and they wanted magic to happen. So what magical experience are you giving these folks? The most important thing is to make the appointment. Now remember, I'm not saying you're not going to gather any information. All I'm saying is that you have to make the appointment. Because why? The expectation is there. The customer expects when they press the button, magic happens. I'm going to keep repeating myself so you can hear it. They press a button, then magic happens. When someone presses a button and they get routed to you, are you making magic happen? So next, the importance hierarchy is LPM. Location, price, and motivation. This is just a conversation. That's how you create, from all the data that they've read so far, that's how you create an excellent experience, a pleasurable experience. Because why? You're asking the consumer about their needs. Zillow collects the client's feedback a total of 3 times. 3 times. 24 hours after the first interaction with a connection, 5 days after the initial connection, and 45 days after the initial connection. Now, my friends, if you're a team leader out there across the country, even if you're not working on these platforms, are you thinking about the customer in this way? Are you thinking about the customer in this way? Well, are you holding your team members accountable? Are you holding a team member accountable? So follow up with your customers in these timeframes to improve your CSAT scores. This is where the CRM is useful, guys. How fast you're updating the portal, how quickly you respond to the client is how quick you can improve your CSAT score. Keeping track through a system like a CRM will ultimately gain you more referrals from the platforms you use. Keeping the data organized. Are you aware, my friends, that internet leads convert at a very low rate, and rightfully so? Could you imagine all the consumers that inquired today are ready to buy a property tomorrow? That's insane. But are we even thinking about that? Are we thinking about the customer and what their expectations are when they connect with you? So having a CRM today, I mean, it's amazing, because when I first got started in the business, using index cards, and it sounds so long ago, in fact, it is at this point, but my friends, today with CRMs and technology, you can store, collect, organize data on a massive scale, creating the super agent that's already inside you. So how to increase your ROI outside of the portals? So I know you heard a lot. It sounded like I pitched, the portals, and quite frankly, it's not about pitching. It's about how do I show up and help our industry and raise awareness? Because yes, some people really want change in the industry, but change in a way that it's only self-fulfilling. Because innovation is the key for customer experience, right? Isn't that what Amazon proved? Ready? Here's another one, game changer. Isn't that what the internet did? The internet just, boom, opened up, broke the walls down of everything. And it changed the way we did business forever. So I'm talking, let's go all the way back to the internet, the creation of the internet. Okay, so I'm not pitching. All I'm saying is this: just be open-minded. So how do you increase your ROI outside of the portals? Let's think about this. How do we increase it? Oh, Mike, because I don't want to work with. How do we increase it? Reviews are still important. Reviews, why? When you go to your favorite restaurant, what do you look at? The reviews. When, I don't know, you're going to check out a movie on Netflix, what do you check out? The reviews. In fact, you go on social media and you say, what's a great movie? Right? How many times have I seen that? Help me, guys. What's a great movie? You know that 8:30 post that people put up and they're stuck at Netflix. Right? They want to watch it, right? Reviews. You can even find metrics for what customer experience looks like in businesses through buzzwords commonly found in reviews. For example, if you go on sites like Uber Eats, okay, or Yelp, there are some buzzwords commonly found in reviews, right? Commonly found, right? Good vibes, okay, great experience. These are some of the things you want to look out for when trying to give the customers the best experience. So think about how Uber Eats things. Okay, when Uber Eats things, when you order for Uber Eats, you get the option to rate your delivery person. Again, that's why I said open-mindedness, my friend. Today is about open-mindedness. You have the ability to tell Uber Eats whether or not they made the handoff easily. So let's talk. They think, were you fast enough? What does that remind you of? Did you respond to the internet lead who was inquiring about property fast enough? And how well was it communicated in a timely manner? So did you make the appointment? Did you give the information you need? Does that sound familiar? Pause, think about it. Does that sound familiar? And did you make the handoff easy? Did the delivery person make the handoff easy to you? Isn't that what you expect? So as an industry, how are leaders stepping up? How are leaders stepping up? How are entrepreneurs, how are team leaders, how are agents stepping up to give the customer the best experience possible? So what you can rate your delivery person on is a reference to a standard for which they're being held at. It's what determines their star rating. Look for common buzzwords and good reviews, but other agents are on your own. These are standards for which they're being held to and they need to strive to achieve in order to get more deliveries. Think about other industries. I'm going to keep saying it. We're consumers. Think about what we're looking for as consumers, okay? Open houses. So this one, my friend, I'm going to pause. I want you to think. I want you to reflect. I want you to look me in the eyes. Look, you see me? You see me? Yes. Are you there? Yeah. No. I don't have a mask on, guys. So I hope I have a mask on. But open houses, okay? This is the fun part, guys. For such a long time, open houses were forgotten about. Let me explain what I mean by that. We talked about baking cookies, right? Smells so nice in here, great. But here's what's interesting. We saw all these videos and we read the books on how to have a great open house. The mega open house, right? Hope some of my friends, team leaders across the nation, the mega open house. They're going to have ice cream trucks and we're going to bring tapas. We're going to have wine. We're going to have apple juice for the kids. It's going to go nuts. But here's what's interesting, though. You go back to some of those mega open houses, potentially they took the list of customers and they put it in between their car seat. And here's what's interesting. People are looking for more lead generation and the leads are right in between their car seat. But what's interesting today, there is a monetary value to acquiring the customer, right? So my question, my friends, is before you start launching this big campaign and you're already working in open houses or you work on someone's team, okay, and I'll just say it, and possibly don't appreciate the open houses, because let's think about this. If you had 20 people show up to an open house, after this presentation now, is there a cost involved? Is there money involved in marketing? Is there a cost to that customer if you were to get that customer from a platform? Yes. So don't be so quick to forget about the open houses. Just as you wouldn't leave the $500 in between your car seat, you shouldn't let the open house signage just fall somewhere in your car. And I know there's a couple of friends that probably tune in today that have these open house apps. Fantastic. All I'm saying is this: organize the data to set up follow-ups. Open houses are something that the portals have a hard time monetizing. Use that to your advantage. Use that to your advantage. How do you give a customer a better experience at open houses so they won't feel the need to use the portals at all? Consider other forms of tech you can deploy to keep clients from using portals, such as, ready? Zoom home buyer webinars or videos done on YouTube. Remember, guys, this is all about the customer experience. If they have a solid relationship with you, they won't ever feel the need to keep going back to Zillow to find another Premier agent. Does that make sense? They won't need to go to Realtor.com. They won't need to go to your competitor's website because they've connected with you. They've connected with you. So these are some of the high cost options. After this, I am going to be taking a short break, but I want you to think. But please don't log out because I've got so much more. I hope this is getting you excited because it's exciting me. Some people, it's angering. I know. I did this on purpose because I want you to see the awareness because we are focused on the consumer. The consumer is the North Star at RE/MAX Edge. So let's talk about the higher cost options. The retarget ads. So going back to retargeting, this is a method of keeping your brand in front of consumers. Now, but Mike, what is retargeting? Well, I'm going to share a little bit about the journey later on today. Today, we weren't really going to go in deep into some of the high cost methods because I said, how do you make money on Zillow and listing portals with very little to no investment? But these, I wanted to share how you can go from little to higher costs even without the portals. You see, my friends, we're here to embrace. We can all coexist to make money. The question is, what are you deploying as a business owner to help generate and keep your costs down to keep the high return on investment? ClickFunnels. This is, my friend, this is the best. Agents sending out door hangers. Call me today, right? Think about this. Where's your ROI? And I hope agents, after they leave this meeting today, they think about how can I continue to get a higher return on investment? Because why? If you just send a door hanger to somebody's house with just the phone number, okay, and yes, you have a call to action on there, but that's one channel to reach out to you. So if they throw that door hanger out, automations. So automation systems in place that will carry out actions for you that you specified. Automations. Automations are key, but that's on the higher cost piece. That's going to give you longevity. So when you send somebody a door hanger, do you create a ClickFunnel that when they go to a website, maybe to a landing page, they continue on with the relationship with you? Is this making sense? I hope so. Because that's how you're going to continue on. Because most agents, when they think about, okay, well, how do I get in touch with the consumer? They think one channel, one way. But how do you increase your return on investment? That's the secret to actually getting a high return, is these methods right here. Retargeting. Let's talk real quick retargeting. You can retarget leads after they visited your website. Click on the Facebook ad, watch the video newsletter. There are plenty of options for you to do. Facebook's custom audience allows you, they do, to connect with people who have already shown interest in your business, like those that visit your website and giving you their email already. Let's retarget them, right? ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels will bring you to your website visitors to the page that you want to see. The funnel guides them through your page that aims to get them to take you CTA, call to action, which is a call to you. Which is a call to you. That's your ClickFunnel. Automations. This has been the buzzword. This has been the buzzword. Automations. And I'm going to stop over here because automations is, we're going to go deep into this topic later. Automation systems will allow you to take a series of actions to be taken once a specific trigger occurs. But here's the difference, guys. But automations are to be set up by you. It's not just done by someone else. I know it sounds sexy. A lot of companies talk about they're doing it for you, but it still needs to be put in by the human. For example, if you get a text, you can have an automatic response sent without you reading to touch or read it. This is useful for automatic follow-up. Automations are key to business. So we're going to take a quick, short break. Don't go anywhere because we are really going to talk about the future of this. Okay, so buckle up. I hope you're getting tremendous value. We'll be back in about a minute. Thanks, guys. All right, so we touched on automation. You know, this is a buzzword in our business, and agents, including myself, remember, 20 years in the business, fall for this trap. What do I mean by fall for this trap? When they hear automations and they hear companies or third-party providers, including big brands, say, we're going to automate something for you, professionals think immediately, well, I press a button, I make magic happen. The challenge is there has to be some human aspect, there has to be some human element, rather, to the automation. It has to be processed. So there are some great automations out there, but how do you include yourself? But this, I promise you, my friends, will increase your return on investment when it comes to working with leads. Next. So a journey through the funnel. So now that we talked about 1.0 and 2.0, let's talk about the journey through the funnel. Let's take a look at what the journey of the Betty buyer is for an agent who's employing all of these tactics, whether it's low cost, no cost, or high cost. Let's look at how it gets started. That's what you came for, my friends. See, I wanted to raise awareness around this hot topic because I see a lot of people not embracing change. At RE/MAX Edge, we are excited about change. We're excited about change. We're excited about innovating. So let's talk about, though, how we can go from low cost, no cost, or high cost. Let's do it. So Betty buyer comes to your open house. Okay, she comes to your open house, you're holding. She writes down her name, like she typed it in. It doesn't matter. Types in her name, writes her name. Okay, but not her phone number. Later, you enter into your CRM. Now you're going to build a relationship. You have some automation set up for the new leads. Your system adds her to the newsletter list where she gets a video once a week from you about home buying advice. Guys, so far, this is all free. For the agent that's just starting out and they're working with a team or they want to help somebody with their open houses, boom, there you go. This is all free, low-cost methods. So Betty buyer likes your newsletter. In fact, she clicks on the website link you put in the email. You have ClickFunnels set up now. So she gets retargeted to a landing page where she then submits her information and now her phone number because you gave her more value. Your CRM updates and adds Betty Buyer's number to her contact. Your automation sends her a text and you get a reminder set to give her a call, right? So it texted her and then it texted you saying, hey, give Betty a call. You then call Betty and connect with her. You figure out her location, her price, and motivation. She decides she wants to choose you as her agent. Now remember, this is a par down example, but it's a look at what the journey looks like through the funnel, like both the low cost and higher cost methods all at once. Next. What does the future hold for real estate? So we just talked through the funnel. Now, what does the future hold? Because my concern is, are we embracing change? What can we do to stay ahead? That's my vision here, my friends. My vision is here is we don't fear change. In fact, we embrace it. Because if you look at the industries like the yellow cab, which we talked about 24 months ago, it's still very relevant today. And now, post-pandemic, and then post-pandemic, we're going to see a lot of industries change, right? Let me give you another example. So taxi industry, I didn't say they're out of business, but again, things have changed. Okay, so if you resisted the change, then yeah, you're having some trouble running your business. Think about restaurants. This has really been a tough time for restaurants. We know that. We know it's been a tough time, but there are some people out there right now, this moment, that are blowing the doors off when it comes to restaurants because why? They've aligned with these tech firms. They're deploying their takeouts faster, easier, and I'm hearing that some of the restaurants that have changed their model, already set up for this model, are already blowing the doors off. Again, not to say that I don't think the traditional restaurant, the experience being in person, is not a good way to go, but I'm telling you there's challenges. What does that mean for real estate? What does it mean for the real estate industry? Go ahead, let's go. Let's see. Where are we going next? iBuyers. You've heard this buzzword we mentioned before. It started in 2014. iBuyers, companies like Opendoor, okay, believe that real estate as it is faces a major issue. Very low liquidity, and despite being so profitable. So how are they going to change the industry? Opendoor aims to solve this by identifying the biggest roadblocks that prevent the industry from being as liquid as it is, and eliminating those roadblocks. Okay, think about it. Opendoor, according to them, some of the roadblocks are these. The selling process takes too long. It's difficult to price as it is on a case-by-case basis. And ready? The transaction process is fragmented. So before we go on, think about that. We say, well, Mike, why are you bringing this up? You're opening this up to the public. Why? Because we want to let people know we are also thinking about the consumer. How could we better serve the consumer at our company? Because truth be told, the transaction process is fragmented. So how can we use technologies? How can we use companies that have a lot more capital available to them, a lot more innovation in technology, like some of the big brands, like Remax, right? So there are companies out there buying the technology, trying to also solve the problem together. Because the transaction, my friend, is fragmented. It's a lot of moving parts. So Opendoor, in this case, recognizes also truly how big the industry and how behind it is on some innovation. That's not a bad thing necessarily, because relationships is really what matters. That's the point. It does matter, but there needs to be innovation, right? There needs to be innovation. Think about it. When it's cold outside, let's go back to the car. It's cold outside. Isn't it nice to just call your car and then you're sitting and looking at your app and you're watching the car go by and you're sitting in your warm house? Because I can remember the day calling a car service from my house. They told me 10 minutes and it took 40 minutes because they lied. And it was free. And then I go outside, I'm freezing, and there's no cell phone, by the way. So I go back in the house, like, hey, are you guys coming? Yeah, we're right away. We're going to be right there. Right? And that's funny. Where was the innovation? Now the innovation has completely changed and we forgot about those experiences now. Now it's like normal. I press the button, magic happens. I get out, the car's right in front of my door. I get in, nice and a warm car, boom, I'm off to the races. Now think about the real estate industry. What needs to change in order to make the experience better for all of us, including real estate agents? Think about it, 5 million homes sold annually. Okay, yes, this is a national average. $260,000 median price points equals opportunity for everybody. Next. So here's the way Opendoor sees it, right? Click, automated online sales process. Offer, instantly receives an offer. Boom, cash funded as soon as 3 days. Now there is a cost to this. So many people out there talking about this and disruption. Guys, not everybody's going to sign up for this, but it's going to loosen the market. It's going to help people say, well, maybe I'd like this option better because I don't want people in my house. So the idea behind Open Door is that the home selling process becomes simple, certain, and fast. Simple, certain, and fast. How many people want simple, certain, and fast, right? When you called your car, was it simple? Was it certain? That car is coming up, right? You actually see on the app, like, hey, man, it's 3 minutes away, and he's got like 4.98 stars. Yeah, this is going to be a good car ride. And then it's fast. That's what they're looking to solve through iBuyers. But let's talk about some of the risks, though. There are risks. Again, this is innovation, guys. The innovator's dilemma. You saw my quote, the innovator's dilemma. We have to change. How can we change together? So here's some of the changes that risks Open Door has, right? The values of properties. There's high variance and also is error prone, right? They don't know the values necessarily. So it costs a lot. The outliers during the validation stage, purchasing greatly overvalued homes is a big mistake for these folks. And capital is a lot of money to buy a house just like that to provide that experience. A lot of initial capital to require to purchase those homes. Open Door imagines the success of their platform and others that can change the industry completely. Number one, geographic mobility, right? People are re-envisioning where home is. Yes or yes, right? Because of all the remote work, they go, maybe I'm going to live in like the Galapagos Islands and sell real estate in New York. All right, think about that. How many people thought about that? All right, not Galapagos, but maybe somewhere really, really warm. You thought about it. Even if you didn't do it, you thought about it. Okay, so here we go, geographic mobility. Homeowners will be able to move more freely, spurring economic growth. This is what they believe. Right, you move freely. If you can move to Mars, let's not talk Mars. Let's say you can move to West Coast to East Coast back to West Coast easily. Okay, that's going to help. So in this, furthermore, they believe this will also increase home ownership, right? Because it's reducing all the friction. People are nervous about this transaction. They're nervous. They're scared. It's not like you're buying a flat screen TV. Okay, so this makes home ownership more attractive. Like, oh my gosh, whew, if I can get in fast and out real easy, this is what they're trying to solve. Alternatives to iBuyers. They're already alternatives. So we talked about portals, and you thought I was only going to talk about portals, but I'm talking about all the other stuff that's going on. That's the point. This talk is saying, hey, from the 1.0 to 2.0, we are now really, really talking about a lot of things going on in the industry, not just an internet lead and the customer comes in. It's a lot of things going on. So as entrepreneurs, we have to think about all the things. That's part of this talk. Are we thinking? Are you thinking now? So while iBuyers are growing in popularity, there are also alternatives to iBuyers that are gaining traction. Home swap companies like Knock, as well as home leasing companies as EasyKnock, also aims to fix some of the real estate known pain points. So give you an example, Knock calls itself the smart way to buy before you sell, right? How many people are frustrated that I'm going to sell my property and then I won't have anywhere to go. I'm going to be homeless, right? 2 decades I'm in this business and this is what I heard. Oh my gosh, I don't want to sell my house. So they believe that in the traditional transactions, you might miss out on your dream home while waiting for the one you currently have to sell. Their solution is Knock Home Swap. Essentially, people get to buy the house they want first, then sell their own afterwards. Now, here's how it works, though, okay? And again, I share this because I want to talk about innovation. I hope also this conversation helps you think about how you provide a great experience. What will you be working on after this talk? And how will it look in 24 months from now? So at Knock's model, there are 3 steps to completing the process. This model is meant to alleviate inconvenience, uncertainty, and costliness that is often associated with real estate. Number 1, pre-approval. Knock gets you fully underwritten for a new home loan, including down payment advance as soon as you start to make offers. Then they purchase. So they buy the home you want and you can move in. You only pay your mortgage while Knock covers your old one. Sell. Knock will prepay up to $25K to your old house already for listing on the open market so it sells faster and for top dollar. So EasyKnock's another company that provides an alternative to iBuying. Their program is called Sell and Stay. This is in which EasyKnock will buy your home and lease it back to you. Another alternative. These are alternatives. These are innovations. We're thinking about something different. Home means something different than ever has before. Yes, we keep reminding ourselves that. So this program will allow consumers to lease for however long they wish while still retaining the option to buy back their home or move away at any time. EasyKnock believes that their platform will offer consumers things that are not typically available in traditional real estate transactions. Ready? What's not flexibility, ability to buy back or move whenever, affordability, leasing at market price, shedding the responsibility of property tax, homeowner insurance, short waits, right? Average 2-week closing time with up to 70% cash up front, and inclusivity. Works with a large range of income types and credit scores. Before I move on, guys, are you starting to think about this now? Or have you now begun to start thinking about, whoa, wait a minute, where's Mike going? Well, I said, where's the future now? We talked about portals, we talked about converting leads, but how are you adding now these things to your repertoire when talking or communicating with consumers? How will you add? Let's see, continue. Where are we going next? Well, this one is going to be mind-blowing, my friends. If you haven't looked at this already, because we think about only one, not we, some people just think about only one tunnel vision, okay, prop tech investment. Innovation in real estate has been slow and stagnant. Despite being one of the largest asset classes, this means the field is vulnerable for disruption. And disruption is what investors have been avidly pouring money into. Investors strongly believe that prop tech will transform real estate, and the proof is in the numbers. Let's go. Boom. I'm going to stop. I want you to stare at that chart. So when we're focusing on real estate as an entrepreneur, as real estate as your career, we have to see what's really going on in the industry as a whole, and how could you not only survive but thrive, be ahead of the trends, be a part of the trends, help make change that makes sense for the customer, right? So here's a breakdown. Since 2013, okay, a total of $73 billion. I said it, $73 billion has invested since 2013, not include 2021 numbers. And in 2020 alone, $24 billion of venture capital was poured into prop tech, nearly double that of the previous year. Now, what's prop tech? It's all the things we're talking about right now. That's prop tech. It's not just one thing about the consumer reaching out, right? The end-to-end experience. Betty Buyer comes in, sell, buy, rent, everything. $73 billion to disrupt. Next. Here's something that's interesting. This is a quote that I pulled. I thought this was very, very interesting. As prop tech continues to infiltrate the real estate industry, the conventional brokerage community will need to embrace innovation if it wants to stay in business and remain competitive. We welcome change, my friends. We welcome change. We all welcome change. For those that won't, well, you see, you have to stay competitive. The end goal of the prop tech companies is to enable transaction to be purely digital. The digital transformation from beginning to end, putting the convenience and quick results that consumers crave before all else. This means that brokerage and agents need to adapt alongside tech in order to continue being valuable to the consumer. And I truly, truly believe that agents are really important to the transaction. People want that guy. They want to have a talk. And by the way, all of this, it's worth mentioning, is expensive. You pay for convenience. Let me give you an example before we even go on. How many people have gone on Uber Eats and ordered the $27 salad? Oh yeah, you're all laughing now, or you're like, oh, you're right. I just ordered a $27 salad yesterday. So people pay that. Because why? They want convenience. They want it to show up at the door. In fact, the other day I called somebody. In fact, somebody said this. I called directly to the restaurant, and it was like $7 difference from the product I was getting from the restaurant, which is insane. But guess what? People are doing it. So people will pay for convenience. So I do believe that you could provide a better experience, but understand that even though these things are coming, consumers will have to pay for it. It's not going to be cheap. So you can, personally, as an entrepreneur in real estate, you can provide a better experience at a better cost, in my opinion. Next. Voice activation. Are we thinking about voice activation? Right? Are we? Alexa, in 2020, over 854 million smart home devices were sold, okay, worldwide. 40%.
I don't know that.
Yep. She answered, okay. About 40% of internet users in the US use voice search. By the way, I did that to drive everyone crazy behind the scenes, okay? Did it on purpose. So we're using Alexa in our office. 40% of internet users in the US are using voice search. Voice activation is changing the way consumers find listings online as well as how agents get discovered. Have you been thinking about voice activation? Or are you still thinking about the prop tech company, they're taking it away, I don't know, and wow. Throw the tomatoes. I want you to hit the angry button. Get angry. Because at the end of the day, we, Remax Edge, our leadership team, we continue to think about the customer, the North Star, and how we align with these companies who have tons of cash to make the experience better. And we want to learn more. We want to understand how will voice activation provide a better experience for our customers. Agents will have to optimize their websites soon enough, right? Here we are, 2019 to now. We're now talking about agents will have to optimize their websites and social media and listings to show up on voice-activated searches. Are you thinking about that? Or are you thinking about the past? Here's another fun one. My gosh. Oh, here's what's going to happen, Mike. The autonomy, ready? Here's what's going to happen. So with keyless entry, I want you to think about this. So with keyless entry, you press the button on your phone to request a showing. The autonomous car comes to pick you up at the house. The car shows up, it takes you to the house. You use your retina scan to walk into the property, or the keyless entry, we're going to talk about it in a second. The Alexa starts talking to you. Somebody pops up on the screen and says, hello, how are you? You walk through the house, you walk out, you get into the autonomous car, you go back home, you start talking with yourself or your partner, your friend, your family, whoever, your dog, your cat, don't matter. That could be the future. So with keyless entry, since the pandemic, this has changed the way that people experience public spaces. The demand for touchless entry has risen. Latch is all about keyless entry, offering consumers the ability to unlock the door with an app, a key card, door code, or their Apple Watch. Security management is accessed and stored in the cloud. Contactless security check-in. MVI Systems is a smart video intercom that provides convenient security consumers by utilizing facial recognition and AI software to provide contactless security to homes. Think about that, guys. We are here now. I don't know, 24 months. These could all be a part of our businesses. The system allows customers to track what's happening at the door, grant remote access, and allow automatic access through Bluetooth. What are you guys thinking about? But here's what I'm thinking about, guys. So with all this innovation, with all this money invested, Mike, you're talking about all this disruption. How will we be included? Well, this doesn't mean that agents will be rendered obsolete. The local expertise and advisory services agents provide will still be sought out. Isn't that true? Despite the seemingly superhuman possibilities attributed to AI, which is still early, my friends, still early. Still early. Think about it. Right now, the Alexa recognizes my son's voice over my voice. She's still learning artificial intelligence, voice activation. So it still requires, though, so in the transaction, a human to bridge the gap between them and the consumer. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about this and how do we stay ahead? Or are you thinking about the old times? Oh, the good old days, right? Right, those were the days, my friend, right? You keep thinking about that and things are going to change very quickly because they already have. Like if you're still in 1.0 or 0.25, let's hope to catch up. That's my mission here. Next. Where are we going next? With artificial intelligence. This is another buzzword that just drives me bananas in the industry. Oh, the artificial intelligence. And immediately the agents are thinking, well, the machine, I'm going to press, right? I go back to this because this was a talk from like 7 years ago. I'm going to press a button, magic will happen, right? So even as the agent, the entrepreneur, they're hoping to press a button, the consumer pops out. In fact, they might not ever even show the house. And then a commission check comes out. But that's not artificial intelligence, my friends. Artificial intelligence is going to empower you. It's going to make you the superhuman, the super real estate agent, super team leader. Is only the truly useful and capable when it's fed large quantity of high quality data. In fact, as the digitization of society grows, so does the number of businesses seeking to optimize data. Those in real estate are recognizing what AI can do to transform the industry, and in fact, have begun to do so already. The rise of artificial intelligence. Let's talk about the home search. Home search. Trulia is an oldie but goodie. right? Employs a sophisticated AI that's capable of personalization. It can identify users' preferences, right? So the color palette, the build style, flooring type, et cetera, when it comes to searching for a house. It suggests listings to the users that will most likely be interested in it. Think about Netflix. I press a button on Netflix, and all of a sudden the movies and shows that I might like show up on my screen. Why are you not being shown movies from the 1940s if you don't like 1940s movies? Or on the other side, you're being shown that because the machine is watching and listening and learning to provide you the best experience possible. Same thing here. Consumers are on the website shopping, looking, studying, and the machine is kind of sharing personal preference because that's what we want. It's what we expect today. We don't want to look through 100 things and really, all we really want to look at is 5. Are we thinking about that, my friends? Throughout this presentation, are we thinking about that? And instead of the wham, wham, wham. How could we help people? How could we help consumers, okay, get a better experience? So these also store their preferences, cross-referencing with searches of similar taste, furthering accuracy of recommendations. Property value. This has been a big buzzword. You know, these estimates are wrong on all these websites. Property value, first off, number one, we are addicted to knowing what our house is worth, what our home is worth. Yes, come on. We all are. We all want to peek behind the curtain. We want to also know what our neighbor sold for. Come on, for years. So being able to predict the future in a high-stakes market like real estate is of immeasurable value. Now think about this. There's a company called Skyline. And by no means, it's a startup AI company. And ready for this? They can gauge a property's value with unrivaled precision. It has access to 130 plus data sources, analysis of 10,000 features per property. That's bananas, okay? But it's here now. It's here now. So property value predictions. But here again, emotions. Emotions. Aren't we emotional people? We're emotional. Emotions play a big part in how people perceive the value of a property. So Zillow uses advanced AI. It's able to sell properties to consumers based on this idea by detecting the minute details that appeal to the individual and setting price based on them. It sounds far-fetched, but it's real, and it has a 2% median error rate. Here's React technology. An efficient approach to lending. Lending, my friends. Could you imagine? Lending continues to also be disrupted. Mike, oh my gosh. Did you say that? Yes, I said it. It's out there in the market. Mortgage lending is about to evolve as well, as is lending process is complex as well. It requires a slew of paperwork, and it's time-consuming for all the parties. AI is able to pull info from paperwork quickly and with high accuracy and doesn't require much human interference. Loan auditors, right, are now able to evaluate 3 times more compliance reviews compared to the previous industry average. My friends, what I'm trying to share with you in the future of all this is now we're seeing the fragmentation start to come full circle, start to pull together. And it excites me because why? The consumer will have a better experience. I think that the super agents will continue to emerge, and the agents the real estate agents don't belong in the industry are going to be weeded out, and the consumer will win yet again. The consumer will win again, right? How many times have you gone into a taxi, okay, and the person was eating and talking to someone else and didn't even look at your face? That was a frustrating experience, especially like the smell. It's summertime. You know that cab ride. I've been there multiple times. It's not that it's bad. It still got me from point A to point B, but guess what? We can have a better experience now. I know that calling an Uber, we can have a better experience. So now the real estate industry is starting to evolve. It's coming together. The consumer will win, and I believe the agents that take this seriously and are operating at a high level and embrace this will win, and they will be superhuman real estate agents. Lastly, this is a big one, my friends. I just want to say this. There was a lot we talked about today. And yeah, we took a stab at a live virtual event compared to what we've done in person because of the COVID-19, right? So it's a little bit hard to get people in a room. So we took a stab at this. But let me tell you something. Technology is still no replacement because behind the scenes over here, we have several people helping manage this, right? We don't have like drones and robots running around. There's people managing this. So humans still need to be involved. There's no emotion in this, but in the real estate transaction, it's very infrequent. And yes, we might have talked about some of these companies wanting to make it even more frequent because of liquidity and the movement, and it's not easy. But people, I mean, personally for me, and love to hear your comments below, but I don't want to go to 20 different places in the next 20 years, right? I want to kind of have the roots. So although this sounds all buzzworthy and exciting, and, oh yeah, we can move and we go here, we can go there, we can go wherever we want. Are we really though? So we still kind of want to be guided. We want the information because every day things are changing in a local market, right? We want to know what's going on in a local market, and we still need a human. So it's important to recognize that AI's role is to support humans rather than to substitute them. And I know some people who love science fiction and yes, the singularity and the AI is going to be more smart. That's not this talk, and that's another podcast or clubhouse, right? That's another one. That's a different. But today in the real estate industry, we haven't even came close to the level of what we're talking about today. We're closing the loop on everything, right? So I say it's another 8. I'm wondering where your business is going to be at in 18 to 24 months. So the home buying experience is often personal. It's emotional. Yes or yes? Come on. Regardless of how refined these technologies can be, emotional AI belongs to the future. It's the future, as it can detect and interpret humans' complicated emotion cues, right? Well, at least for now, right? So we talked about that. Singularity. Right now, the machines, the AI, cannot sense the emotions. And that's why we will continue to move forward. We will continue to be supported by these machines and all these innovations. My friends, what I ask you as I wrap it and go into Q&A, what I really, truly ask you is to be open-minded. I know I specifically talked about some platforms in here today. This is not a pitch to use those platforms because I think there's a lot of big brands innovating. I think there's a lot of big portals innovating. I think there's some companies that are innovating that are not even in this space yet. Okay, I'm confident. Today's talk was to be open-minded. Today's talk was to share a little bit about what I'm going to be sharing over the next 6 months using our Edge in Real Estate platform. Okay, guiding you, giving you step-by-step things to help you with your business. That's my goal, my friends. My goal is not to say use this platform or go to this brand because, quite frankly, I don't think everybody's got it all figured out. I really don't. I think it's the group of people that continue to march down, okay, and really try to make change in our industry, make change for our consumers, make it better for our consumers. And every day when they wake up, okay, real estate agents, when they wake up, they're unemployed every single day. They think about the customer first. How can I make it better? That was my goal of today because I see a lot of nervousness and I see a lot of emotions going on of how it was before. But I personally believe that will create the rising of industry leaders, companies that will make change, that will help the consumer get a better experience. So thank you for being a part of this today. I'm going to go immediately to questions that I may not have before. So real quick, though, if you haven't got a chance to sign up for our mastermind, you will. This is going to start momentarily. And if you're looking to sign up for future masterminds with Remax Edge, text masterminds to 718-524-3293. Again, that's text masterminds to 718-524-3293. And yes, I get it. If you're not ready for that yet, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us at The Edge in Real Estate. And on Instagram, it's at Remax Edge NY. So I hope you enjoyed this talk. And right now, just stay tuned for our mastermind. Yeah, so we're back and we're wrapping this up for our Q&A that we're doing live on Facebook. And then once I finish up this Q&A, for those that signed up for the mastermind, we got a special treat for you. We're going to be sharing some experiences with those agents who've seen success really, really early on, and those that have seen success, they're still raising their business up. So let's start real quick with some of the questions that came up on the live stream. And if you have questions right now, please put them in the comment box. We're going to spend about another 5 minutes or so. And then for those that have signed up for the private mastermind, we're going to switch over to Zoom to really give us so we can give you your full attention. So again, what's the question we have out there, Gabby?
So Ivana said, what is a good CRM?
Well, this is a fun one because what's been told to me over the years is, first off, Ivana, thank you for asking that question. The CRM is the best one to use is the one that you actually use and use often. But from my experience, I do believe I'm going to give you some examples right now. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for, I personally believe if an agent's just getting started up and they have not had any real experience with CRM, Ivana, I think they should start with something more basic. If your brand offers something, Remax, we offer Bouge. We worked with companies like KV Core and Boomtown. Again, no commercials. It's really just a matter of saying what are you looking for in a CRM? And let me explain why. Because in the CRM, what's the most important functionality, in my personal opinion, is the alerts. You heard that pinging on my phone? It's the alerts. So what does that mean? Is that as an agent, once you met the customer, Ivana, out in the street somewhere, you show them a property, you want to bring them to your sandbox, right? So even though I talked a lot about the portals, right, we still want to bring them to your sandbox because on the portals, there are other agents who are out there. So I suggest, number one, finding a CRM that's pretty basic first. So this way you could use it quite often because when it has so many bells and whistles, personally, you're probably not going to use a large majority of them. In fact, sometimes when I interview agents who are talking about these crazy tech platforms, CRMs, probably about almost, and this is a number that I'm just pulling out of the air, probably 90% of the tools are not even being used. I think it's a waste. I think it's just use the tools that are simplistic. So the long-winded answer is start with the brand you're working with first. And then after that, go to something basic. Some people are using systems like Follow Boss. I think that's a real cool tool. Some people are really basic using Excel sheets. So that's a good question. What else we got, Gabby?
So an agent asked Kamiko, what are the top things customers are looking for when they go to sites like Zillow other than the properties for sale?
Yeah, so that continues to evolve, and it's also state by state. I do think that they look for a customer. Ready? This has been said multiple times. The customer is looking for the agent that best suits them. So they're not looking for necessarily what I mean by that, quote unquote, the best agent, the one that sold the most houses. It's the ones that are most knowledgeable, the one that they have a connection with, sometimes knowledgeable about the locale of where they're at. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for their agent. So yes, they're all looking at reviews. They're not looking at the agent that has the most reviews either. They're just looking for the agent that best connects with them. Again, goes back to the Uber, right? When you get into the car, you're hoping for that 5 stars. Okay, some people are looking for a conversation. Some people are not looking for a conversation, right? Isn't that true? So when you're doing home searches, some people just want facts, right? They don't want all the small talk. They don't want to talk about the dog, the cat, the yoga, what you ate for breakfast this morning. They just want, like, hey, just show me a few houses. Tell me information. That's it. So when they're going to those platforms, they're looking for agents maybe that speak a certain language. Okay, they may be speaking to an agent that has the same, I don't know, interests as them, right? Somebody loves fishing, somebody loves sports. That's what they're looking for. So that's why it's extremely important to complete those profiles. So this way people can understand you more, right? Understand who you are, right? So if you've got like the balloon face, as we call it at Remax, and you just don't have your face up there and a headshot, well, let me tell you something. You are back in like 0.25 out of this whole revolution, because again, people are looking for who they can connect to. Any more questions out there?
Amanda said price, including what is offered in that price.
Price included, what is it? Say that again, price?
Price, including what is offered in that price.
So I'm wondering if that's the cost of doing business on some of these platforms. And I will address that. So if I haven't addressed your question, Amanda, I'm sorry, put the question again. But when it says price, and what that means is, let's say a company like Open Door, like Zillow offers, there are fees associated for convenience. Again, goes back to there are fees associated with convenience when it comes to ordering food online. So there are fees, and customers will pay for this type of experience for guaranteed results, guaranteed fast results. So I'm wondering, Amanda, if that's the question you have. And I know a lot of these websites that I mentioned, or platforms or portals, they're transparent. So if you go to their websites, they're about, let's say, for example, the Zillow offers or Open Door, it does discuss how much it costs to do business with them to transact. It's just another option for the consumer. Any more questions, Gabby? All right, it doesn't look like there's any more questions. As I said, we're going to do a mastermind right after this. For those that sign up on the Eventbrite link, I'm really excited to bring this to you. We've got 3 industry experts that are going to be talking about their experiences from start to finish, where they're going to go, how much they've made, what tools they're using. So I'm really excited about that mastermind. There's still a chance to sign up for the mastermind. There's going to be a link put below. It's going to be about a 15, 20-minute mastermind, and there's definitely going to be some great value given there. As I said, guys, I really want to thank you for your time and your patience. I hope this is extremely valuable, and it might be by valuable, awareness, my friends. Embrace change, because I want to see all of us as an industry hold hands, get together, and make the change that the consumer deserves. I'll see you on the next event. Thank you.